Saw dudes, I've been sitting on this build for a while, trying to make it perfect, and I finally think I've reached something that I can consider as a god tier Berserker Titan. I like Abeyant Leap, but I find the playstyle somewhat bland, so when the new aspect Flechette Storm came out, I was super excited. Now, you can really call yourself a Berserker, throwing Strand Blades at enemies from above. This isn't to say that you'll be throwing defense to the wind, as we will be utilizing Woven Mail, Sever, and Suspend effects to reduce total damage taken. The cherry on top of this build is the inclusion of the Heart of Inmost Light, which procs a lot more on this loadout than any other due to Flechette Storm's interaction on hits with enemies. With Overflowing Light being active for so long, our abilities will have little to no downtime. For those who love to go crazy, this build is for you. Let's get started. Super-wise, Bladefury is your only option, but it is a solid one. The light attack gets faster with each successive hit and is buffed against suspended targets. The heavy attack will send out 2 homing projectiles that suspends enemies. The class ability I used was Rally Barricade for the short cooldown, which pairs well with Heart of Inmost Light's ability. Our only melee is Frenzied Blade, which severs on hit, but will primarily be used to activate Flechette Storm. Like most builds, we will be using Shackle Grenade for its crowd control. Suspend is too good to pass up, so we need to make sure that we have a guaranteed source of it. For the aspects, I chose Into the Fray and Flechette Storm. Into the Fray lets us give ourselves and allies Woven Mail when destroying a tangle. Additionally, our melee recharge rate is increased by 100% when we have Woven Mail active. Flechette Storm allows us to jump into the air after sliding and activating our charged melee, with each activation afterwards sending out 4 unraveling projectiles. Each activation only costs 50% of a whole melee charge. For the fragments, we will be using Thread of Generation, Continuity, Fury, and Mind. Generation is a staple fragment and regens grenade energy for any damage that we deal. Continuity extends the duration of Unravel, Sever, and Suspend effects. Fury grants melee energy when damaging enemies with a tangle. And finally, Thread of Mind grants us class ability energy when we kill suspended targets. Let's move on to the armor. Starting with the helmet, I use Harmonic Siphon, Hands-On, and Special Ammo Finder. On the gauntlets, I slotted Heavy-Handed, Momentum Transfer, and Grenade Kickstart. With the Heart of Inmost Light, I used Harmonic Reserves, Concussive Dampener, and a variable damage resist mod. Switch this out depending on the activity. For the legs, I ran Invigoration, Harmonic Scavenger, and Innervation, and finally on the mark was Bomber, Outreach, and Reaper. Aim for 100 Resilience for the lowest cooldown on Barricade, then you can go for Discipline and Strength. Honestly, I would still go for Discipline since our Shackle Grenade is our failsafe for bad situations. There are 2 main weapon loadouts that I have used in testing, with both having their own unique strengths. Weapon loadout 1 prioritizes defense over everything, but is still capable of putting out damage when needed. I use the Navigator, Posterity Hand Cannon, and Thin Precipice Sword. The Navigator gives us on-demand Woven Mail and severs enemies without needing us to use our regular melee or be close to them. This ups our survivability and ensures a faster recharge on our melee ability at all times. Posterity is our Overload Champion stunning tool and also recharges our abilities through its origin perk. Thin Precipice has subclass synergy, but also allows us to guard for even more damage resist. This loadout is great for reducing enemy damage output and leaning into ability spam. Weapon loadout 2 focuses on pure damage for Flechette Storm and doubles as a fire team's debuffing source. For this loadout, I use the Immortal, Harsh Language, and Tractor Cannon. The Immortal is a solid primary weapon, but can be switched out for pretty much anything that you want. Harsh Language is a solid void special weapon, but Forbearance is a tried and true king, so feel free to change it. Finally, Tractor Cannon is the debuffing tool, making enemies take 30% more damage, which is used to great effect by Flechette Storm. When we consider the projectiles and the unraveling effect, we're going to be able to chunk bosses. When using this loadout, you need to be careful as you won't be able to sever targets from long range. Naturally, you should be choosing your engagements wisely. However, because your damage is so high, you'll be rewarded with fast kills and free damage when you're smart about your firefights. When I was looking for some content to make, I noticed that Heart of Inmost Light is still very popular. I wanted to incorporate it into a build that was unique but also very capable. This build takes its perk to the next level since every activation of Flechette Storm can raise the recharge rate of a grenade and barricade. Since 2 activations only cost 1 melee charge, we can have on-demand Shackle Grenades and Barricades, and we can use those to fill our melee back up. It comes to full circle within about 15 seconds and is super easy to keep up. Ideally, you want to activate Flechette Storm twice, throw your grenade, then put down your barricade, taking a few seconds in between. The thing is, many builds are fun, but not the greatest, and while others may be extremely good, they're also mind-numbing. I'm proud of what I made here, and I hope that you guys will have fun with it. Thank you all for watching. These builds are getting put out more and more, and it's actually fairly fun for me. I hope you enjoyed this season's upcoming events, and happy farming.